Here with our very, very special guest, Mr. Roger Sanchez. Now, Roger, how are you?
I'm very good, Dan. How are you, man?
Yeah, great. Wow. You've had a busy couple of days, haven't you?
Nah, I've just been kicking back doing nothing. No, actually, it's been pretty hectic. It's been very busy. We had Release Yourself last night, getting tons of stuff ready. We've got a special little stealth party coming up next Monday, so I've just been getting everyone together, prepping everything for the coming rest of the summertime, because believe me, it's a busy year.
Well, it's your 10th anniversary, isn't it?
Yes. I think that it's been 10 years of Release Yourself on the island, and I think that it's just gotten better every year. And this year, definitely a lot of really good music, a lot of really good vibes on the island, so I'm very, very happy.
I mean, you've just been coming here so many years, haven't you? I mean, can you tell us about how it all started over here, you know, when you started off at El Divino and then moved to Pasha and then Amnesia? That's quite a journey, isn't it? Yeah,
I mean, the funny thing is I've actually been playing on the island since 1995. When I first came over, I was playing at what now is Privileges, then called Coup. I played at Pacha. I played at pretty much all the clubs, including Eden. And then as the years went on, you know, I finally decided to start my own night, which we started at El Divino on a Monday night, and that was 10 years ago now. And from there, we moved to Pacha, and then 2 years ago, we decided to try something a little bit different, and that's why we went with Amnesia.
Okay, and how do you think Release Yourself has kind of grown and changed over the years?
Well, I think that, first of all, sonically, my sound has progressed over the years, and one of the constants is that I do these long sets, so I think that's been really, really good. The DJs that I've been having coming through, the guys from the label, and some of the other friends that I've had, I think have also brought a lot of different elements to the night. But I think the fact that I've always been very much attentive to what the clubbers are feeling and what the vibe is on the floor, and I kind of grow with them, and I transition my sound and everything to really reflect where my head is at and where their hearts are at on the dance floor.
I mean, really, you've come out of that sort of big American sound of the 90s, and, you know, a lot of people haven't really changed along the way, really, you know, and I think it's sad in one way, but in one way it just shows your versatility. I mean, that constant reinvention. I mean, you know, let's take it back a little bit. I mean, I remember you sort of rocking the main room at Fabric.
Yeah, wow. You know, yeah, I was going back. Even further back than that was when Ministry of Sound actually first opened up. I used to play there. In terms of my sound, I think it's imperative for a DJ to really keep his ears open to what's going on, and I listen to everything. I mean, I've always listened to everything from jazz to hip-hop to Latin, and I've really mixed that and mashed it up with my own sound and allowed it to influence me. The same thing goes for house music. When house music first started to date, it's gone through so many transitions and so many different influences. I allow myself to be open to new styles rather than saying, okay, I'm going to jump on this bandwagon now. I'm this type of DJ, that type of DJ. I have always played house music, and I've always allowed all the different forms to come through, but I've also come from playing hip-hop. I've also come from playing different forms of music, so I think it's important to maintain your core, but allow it to expand.
Okay, I mean, you know, let's just wind it back a little bit more as well. I actually saw you at the 2001 launch of the CDJ 1000, the AKA.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, things have changed a little bit since then. I mean, how's that sort of, I know that you've really stayed true to yourself, but how has DJing changed for you over all those years? Well,
it's very much, I've always been very much in the forefront of whatever the technological advances are, and I've always been, funny enough, involved with Pioneer from the very beginning when they first started their DJ mixers, before when they just invented their DJ department. I had a friend of mine from Japan named DJ Takada who brought me in. He said, listen, I want you to meet these guys. They're doing great things. And from there, I kind of helped them develop the various different mixers and the CDJ technology. And from that to playing, from basically jumping from vinyl to CD to now playing on USB and SD cards, I mean, it's just completely changed. And the thing is, there's so many different things that are available now for people to access the music, to access the sets, to put it on the net. It's just a wide open world.
I mean, when you're actually performing, because I know that you are such a performer, I mean, how have the sort of CDJs, have they changed the way that you play, or is it just sort of new methodology sort of?
No, for me, it's very much a performance thing. I mean, right now, the great thing about the new CDJs is I can access pretty much any amount of music that I have on me. and take loops, do different things. What I've always been very what's always been a very big part of my performance is just the technical side, looping, a cappella, layering, really creating a live remix during my sets. And everything that's in the new technology allows me to do that. I mean, it's great. I mean, with the sets that I'm playing, a lot of times people will be twittering me saying, "What was that track you played?" I'm like, "Well, actually, it wasn't one. It was 3 different things at the same time. You just heard it exclusively there." And then I'm like, "Okay, now I got to do a mashup," you know. And you know, but that's what the technology allows me to do.
I mean, a lot of people sort of cite you as an inspiration. I mean, who inspires you when you play? I mean, where did that kind of, I know that you said it's like a hip-hop sensibility.
I think for me, the first thing that I look at is the crowd for the inspiration and for the vibe of what's going on the dance floor. And each of my sets varies according to what's happening on the dance floor at that moment. DJ-wise, you know, from going back to people like Tony Humphries from back in the old days and Red Alert and DJs like that, to looking at the young kids that are doing it now, you know, the Chris Moody's, the Lex DeFunks, the Chuckies, people like that. They're doing their thing with the new sound and creating a new sound out of the older sound. And it's actually really inspiring to me because I allow myself to really soak it all in, and then
and then you do the Roger version.
I do my own version of it and allow it to be just my own.
Okay, I mean, let's look at it from a musical point of view now. I mean, you've had quite a few labels over the years, Narcotic and now Stealth. How's that going? I mean, where's that moving to, and sort of how's that changed? I
think Stealth by far is the most cohesive and strongest label I've ever done. I think I have a great team. I think right now, I just went through an entire team change this last year. My new team is amazing. I've got fantastic people here on island, new tour management, new management, but the label core has remained, and those guys are dedicated. They've really always very much in the forefront of what's going on musically. I bring in a lot of talent, but they also bring some people in, and we've released some very strong records. We kind of balance it between very underground and some stuff that also allows us to cross over and get a bit more chart play. So it's a good balance that we have, but it is by far the strongest one that I've had.
I mean, it's actually based in Holland, isn't it?
It's in the Netherlands. It's in Amsterdam.
Yeah, I mean, what was that about? I mean, obviously you're American, so sort of, you know, that must have been a conscious decision to...
Well, here's the interesting thing. When the dance music scene really started taking off in the UK, I had established a UK label. And when it started going into the more... Dutch side prior to that, you know, I had Dutch management and I set up a Dutch situation over there, and it just coincided with what was coming out of the Netherlands. So now
it's quite an explosion, isn't it?
Yeah, it really does seem to be timely, and I've kind of always had that kind of forward run-in to get what's coming next. But I think it's a very good. It's important for me to have a European team, and I have an American team now, so it balances it out because it's broadened out right now. Especially dance music is exploding in America again, and now really still being broadened across Europe.
Okay, I mean, we're on the radio now. Obviously,
yes.
We need to talk about your radio show.
Yes.
Now, I mean, I think that this would actually make a lot of other DJs wince. What number are you up to now?
Of the radio show. 459?
Wow.
459 shows that you've come up to?
Have you got something special planned for 500?
I have to see when it lands on, because it depends on if it's going to be landing on like year's end or if it's just during the year, because then I can... if it's a year's end, then it's going to be a year-end rap 500. I might do a special countdown from start of the show to the beginning, like some of my biggest tunes over the last 10 years. We'll see. I have to see.
Okay, I mean, I think on that note, I can feel that you're itching to get into the mix.
Oh, yeah. Also, the good thing is that, you know, and one of the reasons that I think it's good, just being here on the island, being plugged into what's going on as well. It's kind of like I want to invite a lot of people down, because next Monday I've got my Stealth event, which is going to be at La Plage. So we've got Jesse Garcia and Musée coming to play. I'm going to be hanging out, so you got to come down.
That's La Plage in Playa de
Bossa. So you got to come down and hang out, yeah. I got to put a little plug in with my peoples.
Well, also the new Stealth single as well.
And I've got a lot of new Stealth singles. We've got something now coming out from Park and Fitch versus Todd Terry, because Todd's coming back and I've been actually kind of collaborating with him on some stuff, and they've redone Something's Going On. That's really, really hot. And then we've got some stuff from Jason Chance, a lot of other stuff coming up, plus my new single, Together. And a lot of good stuff coming on the label, man. And thank you for supporting it.
And obviously the compilation as well.
Yes, we've got the Release Yourself Volume 9, and I'm now working on Volume 10. So
never stops.
No, we can't stop. We can't stop.
Okay, we're just going to give you a little minute. Just
let me get
set up. On. Thank you so much, Roger.
My pleasure.
So, this is Dante here on the Pioneer DJ Sound Show. We've got Roger Sanchez coming up in the mix.